For the latest in strategic affairs, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the bell icon for updates.
Hello, welcome to StratNewsGlobal. I'm Surya Gangadharan. Nepal's prolonged political instability has raised some demands in some quarters, perhaps of a return to the monarchy of previous years. Is this demand sustainable? How widespread is it? These are some of the questions I'm going to ask my guest, Yubaraj Ghimire of deshsanchar.com, online group in Nepal. Yubaraj, welcome and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
So, is there a demand for the return of monarchy here?
Well, at least one party which is clearly expanding its popularity and acceptability has put out in its manifesto that it wants monarchy restored in the form of a guardian institution in the country. And there are very scattered views about it. Political parties, major political parties, including Maoists, have realized that country has gone through severe instability process, but they have not been able to admit their mistakes or to review their own, failure and respond to that situation. But monarchy will be an issue, secondary issue, in the sense that people will vote or not vote for a party which has raised this demand this time.
Mm-hmm. So when they say monarchy, are they referring to any particular person?
Well, when they refer to monarchy, it would definitely be a kind of in relation to the last monarch and the institution that he represented. Monarchy was abolished in Nepal in 2008, although this was never a collective demand or issue of the political parties who had opposed to the royal takeover in 2005. All that they wanted was, except Maoists, all that the major political parties wanted was taking over power in one or the other pretext. That time he had said that he'll contain Maoist and terrorism and return power to the political parties in 3 years. But no political parties had said that monarchy should be abolished. It was a fallout of a 12-point agreement held in Delhi, in which 8 major political parties were signatories, and they then subsequently said monarchy should be abolished, and they abolished it in a controversial manner.
Mm-hmm. So is there, given the fact that you have a dispensation in Delhi, which is perhaps more favorable to the idea of monarchy, is there some perhaps push from that direction?
I don't think so that Delhi's current dispensation, I think you mean Narendra Modi and BJP, I don't think they are favoring monarchy's return. But I also don't know how worried they are about the prolonged anarchy, maze and instability in Nepal after India in a way intervened, brought 7 or 8 political parties, including Maoists, together, and also garnered international support in favor of republic and in favor of secularism in 2005-06.
Mm-hmm. So that brings me to the other issue of secularism. Given that, how does secularism actually work here?
Well, that's the problem, Surya. Nepal's parliament never debated this issue. All that it said that henceforth Nepal would be a secular country. But in the constitution what they say is, by secularism it should be understood that the state would be honoring the Sanatan, the faith and religion that is being followed from time immemorial, Sanatan Dharma. It's quite a dishonesty to have that clause, like declaring country as secular. But the issue was never debated, never voted. So it was again, I'll tell you, when India decided to favor Republic in Nepal and like following an understanding with the Maoist and other political parties, India did play a lead role in soliciting international support, basically European Union. They said we are, we'll be supporting Republic agenda provided you support secularism. And secularism for European Union was kind of inclusion of right to conversion in the constitution. So that's what has been. Although right to conversion is not there in constitution, conversion is taking place in a fast speed in Nepal. That's unfortunately what secularism has come to mean. So there is a retaliation among Hindus that faith cannot be a saleable commodity in Nepal. It's a very messy situation, unclear about the definition of secularism and its practice. So there is agitation, there is kind of wider demand, there is kind of unrest also in some places that Nepal's lost Hindu status should be restored. And that party, I told you, Rashtriya Prajatantra Party, has included in its constitution that Nepal should be a Vedic Sanatani Hindu Rashtra.
And is there, among young people, is there some kind of a push towards this? Is there any sense you get that younger people want something, which they not have even experienced or even known? No,
that's now in Nepal's political change of 2005-2006, radical political change, the generation has been now 15-year-old, 16-year-old. So they don't have much interest. This is also IT generation. They would be looking for an opportunity to go abroad and get this IT and related education. But a huge population of Nepalese youth, able-bodied, they leave the country at a rate of 500,000 per year. And they went there because they didn't see much future for themselves in this country under the radically progressive regime. So they are frustrated, they are angry, and for them, and their anger and frustrations matters for the country. Because Nepal survives largely on the remittance they send from the Gulf countries, sometimes risking their lives. Thousands of bodies come in casket there, not being able to bear the working condition there.
So last question, do you see any prospect of revert to monarchy of some kind in going forward?
Well, that is possible. One, if parties act democratically and review the mistakes and instability the country has been going through. Two, there is, India also is an influential neighbor because India promoted anti-monarchy, move and brought the Maoists in the center stage of politics. Maoists, a party that a force that India itself had called terrorist. India in a way worked with them. So if India exercises its moral authority and tells the actors look, we adopted the Republic agenda, hoping that it will lead to progress, prosperity, stability and economic gains, but that didn't happen. Perhaps it's time to review that. But I really don't know whether India would be able to do that because there's a very strong Babudam that is more powerful than the political leadership, and there at times or most of the times act as ears and eyes for the leadership, political leadership.
And the fact that 50% of your voting public is apparently favors the communists.
Well, communist there's a multicolor, communism. It's not only deep red. The Maoist and UML cannot stand to each other. There's Madhav Nepal. So if you go by the voting, last election, these three parties were together. They had garnered, they had got that much support. But now Maoists are aligning with the Congress party, and UML is aligning with the pro-monarchy and pro-Hindu Rashtriya Prajatantra party. It's the real khichdi politics. So the current electoral alliance, pre-election alliance, may be very different from the post-election alliance, because Nepal is bound to be a hung parliament again after the election. So these equations will change. Then agenda, which party pushes their agenda in what way, would also largely determine the future course of Nepali politics.
Okay. Yubaraj Ghimire, thank you.